Hi, I'm Alicia Kennedy, food and culture writer and the publisher of the twice-weekly Food, Culture, Media, and Politics newsletter from the desk of Alicia Kennedy. Today, I'm bringing you a conversation I had in April with Layla Schlack. She is a wonderful writer, a senior editor at Clarkson Potter working on cookbooks, and she used to be the editorial director of Whetstone Magazine, a really classic food independent magazine. We talked about what the cookbook market looks for, all sorts of things about the writing life and what it means to be both editor and writer, how her editing process works, going from magazines to books, and all of that. You can find the full conversation at aliciakennedy.news.
So thank you everyone for being here. I went back today to my inbox to find out when I first met you, Layla, and it was in August of 2017.
Yeah.
We had a drink, we had a cocktail, and then I remember I wrote it in my email to you that I was on my bike ride home and I had a pitch, and it ended up being my first wine enthusiast byline, which was
Oh, that
about
was
my
such a fun piece about your family trip to Italy. Yeah.
Yes, they went into a collective hysteria over a winemaker named Sergio. Everyone fell in love with him and acted completely deranged about it. Anyway, and then we did the food writers workshop for 2 years with Emily
Yeah,
Stevenson, and I was like, I cannot believe it's been so long
I
that I have
know.
known you, because it does not feel that long. Um, but by way of introduction, for folks who don't know, Layla Schlack is senior editor right now at Clarkson Potter. The award-winning writer and editor has previously worked at food, drink, and travel magazines, including Whetstone, Wine Enthusiast, Fine Cooking, and Hemispheres. Her byline has appeared in Food and Wine, The Washington Post, San Francisco Chronicle, to name a few. And she's a co-author of the forthcoming book, Wine Pairing for the People, coming out in fall of 2026. That's official, right?
Fall 2025. We're
Fall
going to be,
2025. Oh, wow, you're getting
fingers
pushed out.
crossed, we're supposed to be out this November. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, a resident of Connecticut, Layla holds an MFA in creative and professional writing from Western Connecticut State University. So, again, thank you so much for being here, Layla. My first question that I wanted to talk about, because by way of sort of getting you to tell us your story without making you do it point by point, but like, was working in food media your original goal, or did you have other kinds of journalism in mind? How did you end up in food media?
Yeah, so my original goal was to work in magazines, in print magazines, because I graduated college in 2005 when print magazines were a thriving business. So my I joke that I'm like half a Nepo baby. My dad worked in publishing. He worked in B2B publishing, first for the plastics industry and then kind of wound his way into IT. But so like from a very young age, I kind of knew what it looked like to work at a magazine. I knew that it involved kind of making schedules and project management and design and art. And I knew that I liked to write for as long as I have known how to write. And so it just seemed to me like I remember being 15, taking the PSAT, and like it was like, what do you think you want to major in college? Because that was when colleges would start like recruiting you. And kind of on the spot, I was just like, well, I clearly want to be a magazine editor. And I like filled in whatever bubble that was, the closest bubble on this PSAT form. And I just kind of stuck with it. So yeah, my original goal was to be a magazine editor. I started off as a newspaper copy editor, but I moved to New York in 2007 and got a job at a company called Ink that publishes in-flight magazines. And which was good because it's so general, right? Like obviously a lot of it is travel writing, but we had business stories and fashions. So, like, I had to borrow some items from Hermes for photo shoots from time to time, things like that. And food was just kind of the thing that I was most drawn to in that job.